video. This is actually, I was going to upload something else. I was recording something else, or getting the gameplay for something else so I could record something else. But I wanted to make this video because I don't know. I just been thinking about remembering stuff lately, so I'm gonna do something that I want to call I remember the first time. So this is gonna be it's gonna remember the first time I did this, and maybe it'll spawn something off of it. So the first thing I want to say I remember, like, that was significant to me in my whole gaming thing. I remember the first time I went to an MLG event. I went to MLG Dallas 2013, and I shook hands with everyone on Optic except Nadeshot, because he was in a bad mood at that moment in time. But he still took a picture with us, but I'm still salty because he didn't shake my hand. And that's why I don't like Nadeshot. If anyone knows me in real life and knows that I don't like Nadeshot, that's why I don't like him, because he did not shake my hand, and I'm salty. The moment he shakes my hand is the moment he starts to be my friend. I remember watching my first live stream at home and watching a full tournament. It was MLG Anaheim 2013, and I remember that was when I first started watching Complexity, and I remember the first time I heard Clayster's name and knew that he was my favorite pro player. I watched that with my brother, and I remember just it being the coolest thing ever, because we hooked up his laptop to the big screen TV that we own, and we watched MLG Anaheim 2013. I remember when I first started playing competitive in Black Ops 2, or ranked play, but it was kind of competitive, so yeah. So I remember when I first started playing ranked play, and I actually started doing good at Black Ops, and I didn't have to use the Remington to drop 20 kills. And I could use the M8, and I could use the MSMC. I remember watching my first Clayster stream on Twitch, which was probably the coolest thing ever, because I didn't know Twitch was a thing, because I didn't really know, because I wasn't a streamer, because I didn't know. I did YouTube. I recorded off my iPod. I remember making my first YouTube video. My first ever YouTube video was in 2013 off of my fucking iPod. My iPod, my 4th generation iPod's camera. It was the shittiest quality ever, and I was recording, and I didn't have a stand or anything and I didn't have anything like that to hold the camera up. It was me, myself, and I would stretch, and I'd say that I had to stretch my leg in the video. I remember I wrote a song trying for my channel, and it was terrible, but I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And now looking back at it and remembering the song, it was retarded. I remember when we first played with everyone that we've played with, like, throughout the years. It started as me and Rod, and slowly we got Nova, and then we got we got David, we got a guy named Pajaman and Jay McCrumbly, and then we got Jay Lee, and I remember talking to all of them for the first time, and I remember that was the coolest thing ever. Except Jay Lee, because he didn't have a fucking mic for like the first 2 weeks that we played. Fucking stupid. He did. I remember when Jay Lee got his mic and I first talked to him, and I was like, this is the coolest dude ever. I remember when Jay Lee fucking lied to us and said he was 18 when he was only our age. Now he's laughing like a stupid ass in the background. I remember when we found out that Jay Lee was our age, and we were like, what? You lied to us. And he laughed the same way he did at the time. No, he did his impression of a Sean Anders laugh, and I remember him doing that all the time. I remember the first time he got in trouble when he did his Sean Anders laugh, because his mom thought it was annoying, and she came into his room and told him to shut up. I remember the first time he did the Silent Droid impression and like did it all night and pissed me the fuck off. That was the first time I ever kicked him out of a party. shit. I remember playing Advanced Warfare for the first time and thinking, oh my god, this is the best game ever, and staying up till 4 in the fucking morning thinking this was the best game ever. I remember playing Ghost with what became Apollo Gaming. I remember when we made the Team Apollo. We had broken up from what was Hectic Gaming at the time and turned into Apollo. And now we are our own thing. We're not 18, but we will be. Fuck. Let's see, what else do I remember? I remember so much. I remember putting my first Pokemon video on my channel. It was recorded off my iPod, and it was from my DS, and it was a Masuda Method video. I remember my first videos when I first moved to Dallas that were on Ghost. They were literally, or they weren't on Ghost. They were literally, my first videos were fucking vlogs, and all I did was point at my feet while I walked my dog around the apartment complex we lived in. Shit. I remember when we moved, I was so sad that I wasn't going to be able to go to the same school, but now I'm at the school I'm at, and I'm happy. I remember the day that this dude Jay Lee told us we were getting PlayStations, or he was getting a PlayStation, and I was so happy because it had been so long since we talked, because I sold my PS3 to get money for ESO. I remember when my brother bought me Madden 16 out of nowhere, because he's the coolest big brother ever. Same with Fallout. I remember not too long ago, it was like a couple days ago, I remember what I said when he handed me the Elgato in wrapping paper, and I opened it and saw Elgato. For the first time in my life, I saw Elgato on a box, and it was mine. And yes, I shit my pants. I'm gonna say that just for Jay Lee's sake. But I just... Fuck, let's see. Let's see, let's do something personal that I remember. Oh, I remember being at school, and I recorded a whole day in the life at when I was in 10th grade. And when people saw me walking around with my my phone's camera, they were like, "What were you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I was recording a day in the life for YouTube." And they were like, "Oh, you have a YouTube channel?" And then I didn't tell a single person, I didn't tell a single soul at that school what my YouTube channel was. Oh, I remember uploading my first Advanced Warfare video. I went like 24-11 and thought I was the best at that game. Little did I know that I would now remember getting my first DNA bomb and freaking the hell out because me and Rod were talking about the most random shit that day. Talking about a drug dealer from when we were in 8th grade that was a 6th grader. I remember the 6th grade drug dealer. I remember getting my second DNA bomb. We were just talking about something random again, and I went on a tear with a MP11. I remember so much about all these video things. I remember uploading my first fucking 50 bomb. I remember uploading our first CTF game that we finally won. I think I uploaded an uplink game that we finally won. Shit. I want to do so much more with this competitive stuff, at least arena on this with what is Apollo Gaming, because we're great and we're better than everybody, and we need to show that. And I want everyone to remember, just like I remember, the name Apollo. Oh, this one's a little personal, but I remember the face I made when I saw my dad get off the plane because he had just gotten back from Iraq. And if I had a camera, I'd show you that face. And I'm not posting a picture of myself on Instagram, even though I don't do that often. but I have. I remember making my first friend at my new school. I remember making my first friend at my old school. I remember making my first friend when I was little. My first friend ever, her name was Paige. And I lost like all contact with her after 7th grade. I still don't know where the hell she is. Oh shit, I remember the day that me and John met for the first time. We were in 5th grade. We're in fucking 11th grade now. How the fuck he stands me? I don't know, because I'm a jackass with him. Shit, I remember when I met my friend Mitchell. I remember when we met Shelby, because that was the funniest night of my life. Because we were just talking, we were playing Infected, and John was sending her a random message that said, "How you doing, baby squirrel?" And like that, we had a great friend whose team just happened to destroy Michigan State. I remember when I decided I wanted to go to Michigan State. I remember when I made it official that I was going to go to Michigan State and nothing was going to stop me. I remember when I started calling myself the Legend. Oh my god. And that's been around since the summer. It's gotten to the point where I call myself the Legend at school. Like, I write my name on paper and in quotation marks I put the Legend, just so people know that I am a legend and that I don't want to go down as anything less. Shit. Let's see. I remember the MP beta came out for this game, and the first day I raged really hard, and spiked my controller for the first time. I remember getting my first platinum trophy on Infamous. I remember it was a son of a bitch, but I remember actually sitting there, and the glitch spot that I was using to beat Augustine on every other difficulty was actually got patched, and I was like, shit. And I sat there for 3.5 hours trying to beat that bitch, trying to figure out what to do because my glitch spot had gotten patched. And 3.5 hours later, I had my first ever platinum trophy for one of my favorite game franchises ever. I remember when I first played my favorite game franchise. I remember when I first played Kingdom Hearts. It was 2007. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 had been out for a year. Or maybe not. Maybe not even that. Maybe less. Or maybe more. But I remember playing it. I remember being at GameStop with my older brother. And he was like, here, you should play this game. And it was that little tournament that you can play. It was the demo. And you could fight against Vivi. And that was the only person you could fight against. And I remember getting my ass kicked so many times there, but I ended up beating Vivi, and I knew that right then and there that I wanted that game. I remember beating Kingdom Hearts 2 for the first time and crying because I beat it. I remember I actually cried when the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer came out. I remember crying when I beat Kingdom Hearts 1. I actually, cried because I'm so attached to that game. The game means so much to me. Fuck, I remember playing my first Call of Duty. I remember playing Black Ops 1 online. And even though my brother told me not to play until he had a game ready, I went and played a game online. And I got 2 kills. And I died 18 times. Now people are lucky if I die more than 18 times. Holy shit, I remember a lot more than I think I do.